Hi, I'm Brandon Homan, aka The Voicest, and welcome to High British Episode 1. Yeah. Today we're gonna be exploring the High British. As I said in my last video, this is a very exaggerated High British, so I do not want to cause offense to people because this is something that normal British people do not sound like. But this is a very affected type of speech for the British dialect. So hopefully you'll be able to sound a little bit better after you watch these following videos. I'm putting one out today, and hopefully I'm thinking there'll be 5 or 6 British videos. They'll be on the little shorter side than the IPA, but we'll see how they go. This is what we'll start out with though, so without further ado, let's get started. Hi British Episode 1. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk like that the entire time. So Hi British Episode 1. Today's lesson is Intro to the British Dialect, Intro to High British. Like I said, this is a very specific type of British dialect. Not all British people are going to sound like this. This is for if you are in a play and you want to play a High Lord of Fanciness or whatever. So this is a very different type of thing. But I'm going to just walk through the basic things that we're going to need to know before we get started on the dialect in my next video, where we'll start using some of that IPA stuff that I taught in my previous videos. If you haven't seen my previous videos, please go check those out. I have a string of 4 episodes on how to understand the IPA so we can get working on these dialects. All right, so these are the 4 main things that we're going to be talking about in this episode. And these are the 4 things that come with every type of dialect or every time you talk. These are things that'll help you with the dialect along the way. So first, the rate of speech, how slow or how fast you talk. High British is generally slower. They want to make sure they sound sophisticated in order to pronounce each word.
They will not talk like this because it doesn't sound quite as sophisticated.
They want to relish in each word that they use. Typically is very slow, so they're leaning more towards that adorable tortoise that I have up in the corner. Enough of that. Pitch. British people tend to have a very high variety of pitch. Pitch is the variety of notes that you use when you're speaking or singing. So whether you go really high or go really low. The High British goes through all of the notes in the entire line of notes. Yeah, so you notice when I'm using this British dialect, I will go all over. I'm from Minnesota. So the Minnesota people tend to stick to about 3 notes. And so as you hear, I'm kind of talking along the same level of pitch right here, and this is how I usually talk, is right around that little line. When you're speaking High British, you go all over the place, just because it sounds so much more interesting. I don't know. Regardless, that is what you will be leaning more towards when you're going to the British dialect. Qualities. I'm going to eventually do a quality video because there's 10 different vocal qualities that people talk with. If you go through, let's see if I can find my book. This book right here, I love it. It's very nice. Voice and Articulation. I use this in college. This is the 5th edition by Kenneth Crannell. This talks about all the different types of vocal qualities. I will make a video about them because I am a huge fan of vocal qualities. For those who know me, they know that I'm obsessed with them because it adds variety to the type way you talk. Generally speaking, you can do any dialect in any vocal quality. But some dialects lend themselves to be easier in certain vocal qualities. High British is easiest when it's strident, meaning that you have that sort of metallic right in the mask sound. You're not going to, if you try to do in the throat, if you try to talk in the throat, you'll start sounding a completely different dialect. You can train yourself to do any dialect, like I said, or any dialect in any vocal quality, like I said, but It's easiest when you do the strident, and when you get it down in the strident voice, then you can start playing with a nasal type thing there, and just play around with it. But start with strident, then play. Terms. This is gonna sound very stereotypical, as you can see by the variety of pictures that I have around me. But terms actually really help establish the dialect. If you're saying things that would normally be said in in Southern land America in a British dialect, it just won't sound right. So when you try to use stereotypical British terms or whatever dialect you're doing, it does lend itself, even though they are very stereotypical. Like I said, this is for stage. Typically you can use these whenever you want, but when you're doing things on a stage for acting, you want to do the more exaggerated form of the dialect so people understand it a little bit easier. That's not the case in all the times, but that's more typically what you'll try to do on stage. So let's look at some very stereotypical terms that you'll want to take a look at when if you're trying to talk in a normal speech. You don't have to use these, and like I say, use sparingly. Do not overuse these, because then you will become too much of a caricature. But if you throw some of these in there every once in a while, it'll help add to that overall British vibe, I guess. But yeah, just take a look. By Jove! Hip hop! I say, old chap, wanker, you wanker. Oh, you cheeky, aren't you? I could go and do these all day, but I really don't want to. Just take a look if you want to screenshot this. I'll pause it, take a screenshot, take a look at this slide. It's fun to play around with these. That's all I really have for today. So thank you for watching. I will have another video. I apologize for making this video happen so late. It's been like 3 weeks since I put out my last video. Stuff and things, you know, the coronavirus pandemic that's happening right now, causing some strain on my video capability, but that's okay. I'm excited. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate anything. If you have any comments about what I'm doing, please drop them below. Constructive criticism, I'm all about that. So that's all I got. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye-bye now.